they obviously left their mark on my family in that way. And my dad sort of tried to start a charity. He would go into the ocean every day to sort of be with them because we spread their ashes into the ocean. And so he would go into the ocean every single day, like whether, and we're in Boston area, so it's very, very cold. And so he does these polar plunges every single day. And as he started doing them, he started having people join him to raise money to help, like, people who were dealing with substance abuse, and help, like, educate people on substance prevention. And so prevention is really the name of our, like, um, game plan when it comes to like addiction and that sort of thing with Chucky's Fight. And so my dad has since, turned my dad and mom have since turned that charity into something really special. Like, they've helped the opioid problem in New Hampshire quite a lot. Like, helped pass certain laws. I think my dad was honored as like hero, yeah, hometown hero at the Celtics Eastern Conference Finals.
Wow.
My dad makes a huge, huge impact. I've had many people come up to me and tell me all the time, like when I'm just roaming around my hometown, like, hey, your dad like saved my life. Like, he's a second father to me. Like, all these people, I've seen testimonials and stuff. And yeah, he does presentations at schools all the time, and polar plunges, and just works with the community like day in, day out. Like, that's all he does. He's a very busy guy. And it matters a lot to me too, because, like, as he makes a real difference in the community. But yeah, my older brothers are something that I always write their hockey numbers on my hands right before I go into fight, before I get my hands wrapped. So I always feel like I have the two of them on my shoulders as I go into fight. um yeah, and so, the Chucky's Fight is like a real special organization for us. And I think we do as much as we can in the community to help everybody. And it's kind of cool now because just to pivot it back to the fighting too, it's like, when you're in South Florida, because it's sort of this mecca of MMA, like, sometimes I don't always realize how special it is what I'm doing is. And this is even back when I'm just an amateur, like, wow, you're winning amateur fights, like, but like now I'm less like 9-0 pro, and sometimes it doesn't even feel like real, or you can't even like comprehend like what that means. But
Mhm.
when I come back to Seabrook, which is, my hometown in New Hampshire, you have people come up to you at the gas station and say, like, man, like, what you said in your post fight about Seabrook, like, that means a lot to us. Like, you have, like, like townie guys, like, come up, like, we call them Brookers,
Mhm.
the Brookers come up to us and are freaking out, like, oh man, you're the man. Like, it's just, and not that I need that sort of like glory praise, but it makes you realize how special it is what you're doing, how meaningful it is. Like I have people tell me it actually inspires them, and like makes them, like, I have messages after my fight, like, makes them do better, like, in their own lives. And that's something that, like, not that I miss in South Florida, but it's something that, like, you don't always, really wrap your mind around until you're here. And so that's one of the things that I do is I love to be part of the community through Chucky's Fight.
That's just really powerful stuff, dude. Like you get to touch so many people's lives through like, what you and your family do for,
Yeah.
the addiction stuff. And like I've had, family members that have like, passed from addiction and like even later on they, got sober and then they had their troubles just from, the long years of abuse. And so I know how that takes a toll on people's lives and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
it's really cool for someone like you who has like a, has a platform and has the connections to, touch other people's lives and, make it more than just, about yourself, take yourself out of it. And, you know, kind of that experience and you doing that is kind of like larger than life. And so when you get to look back when you're old and you're done fighting and you're done, doing what you do, you get to look
Yeah.
back and be like, wow, like, I did so much for other people as well, not just for myself. And like that's super cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I mean, to me, that's always like the thing is, like, after the fight, like, people are, I had a million people trying to pull me in different directions, and I was like, no, I need to go see my cousin. Like, I need to go see this kid who wanted my autograph after the fight. Like, that's the kind of stuff to me. I'm like, none of this shit matters if, like, I don't do that stuff. Like, what is the point of any of this if that's not, it's the whole point is to inspire people. And for me, it's been sort of like, I I think people like can take different things from, difficult things that happen in life. For me, I was just something where I was like, okay, I know this problem exists in my family. So I took a very like weirdly logical approach to it. I was just like, I'm never going to do drugs. I'm never going to drink. Like, just not a problem I need to introduce. Like, even if it tastes good or like feels good, like, I just don't need to try that yet. And so, like, for me, I've never even, like, I don't even, it's stupid, but I've never even had like a cup of coffee or like an energy drink because I just know like how I'm wired.